I have already made a video on creepy urban legends, but those urban legends are, or maybe mostly folklore. But today's episode contains urban legends that turned out to be real. Number 4. The Collector. The Collector urban legend is really a catch-all legend for creepy hermetic neighbors that may be doing something horrifying inside their dungeon-like basements. The most common collector's legend is a neighbor who collects human body parts and proudly displays them in mason jars. In Russia, the Collector urban legend has a bright future because it played out in real life. Its new mascot is local Russian historian Anatoly Moskvin, who stole corpses from cemeteries in dozens of towns east of Moscow. According to police, he dug up at least 29 corpses and made dolls out of them, life-sized, faceless female dolls with platinum blonde wigs. Number 3. The Legend of Dog Boy. The legend of Dog Boy originates out of Arkansas. While it does not involve the mythological chupacabra as featured in this picture, it does feature a sinister little boy who spent his childhood years ruthlessly torturing and experimenting on local dogs and cats. Legend has it, the boy had paranormal powers as well. Incredibly, the Dog Boy legend is mostly real and is based on the life of Gerald Floyd Bettis, who actually added onto the family home so that he could store more stray dogs and cats to torture. Bettis was also a tyrant when it came to his parents. A neighbor once said he kept them virtually imprisoned in the upstairs part of that house. He would feed them, but only when he decided it was time for them to eat. While there is no proof Bettis had any kind of paranormal forces at work with him, he was 6'4" and weighed close to 300 pounds, which must have made his sadistic behavior all the more terrifying to his victims. Number 2. The Corpsey. The Corpsey urban legend developed throughout the 70s and the 80s after several children went missing from Staten Island. The story told powerfully in the recent documentary entitled Corpsey initially revolved around the classic but creepy boogeyman type figure who stole children. Corpsey's director Joshua Zeman remembers when he was young and growing up in Staten Island. He said, "Our counselors would lead us through the woods past Seaview and we'd beg to go in there. Inevitably, one of them would come out with an axe, yelling that he was Corpsey." Meanwhile, nestled in the woods nearby was the Willowbrook State Facility for Mentally Challenged Children, an institution now notorious for squalid living conditions. In the late 80s, police finally began to hone in on a man named Andre Rand, a former Willowbrook employee who had since lived out in the woods. He was a drug user and possibly an occultist with a lengthy rap sheet, the perfect candidate for our real-life boogeyman. Though he was never officially charged with the Staten Island child murders, Rand is currently serving 50 years to life for kidnapping and first-degree murder and is still the top suspect in the Corpsey disappearances. Number 1. Frozen solid. Legends of people being frozen solid and somehow living have persisted over the centuries, with scientists steadfastly maintaining it is not medically possible. In 1981, however, North Dakota proved these scientists wrong with an incredible true story of a young lady named Jean Hilliard, who was found frozen solid after getting trapped in 22 below zero temperatures. Her doctors said when she arrived at the Foston Main Hospital, her skin was too hard to pierce with a hypodermic needle. Her temperature was too low to register on a thermometer. Her face was ashen, and her eyes were solid and did not respond to light. The doctor also said, "I just can't explain how she's alive." So that's it for today's video. Thank you so much for watching and I hope you've enjoyed it. As always, make sure to tune in again tomorrow for another brand new episode.